How's it going, Sarah? We're just waiting for everybody to jump on and do all of the shenanigans. Likewise. Sarah, if you like good music, you're gonna miss it, but there's some good music on the Facebook app. What is going on, Michael? All right, we're gonna go live here in just a second. Well, hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine Talk with Tesh. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that you like my hair. This is called I haven't been able to get a haircut. First and foremost, if you is it hot? Like, is too hot? Like, let me turn it down. Don't say. Hang on. Let me see. Is that better? Let me know in the comments if it's if the volume's a little bit better for my mic. All right, really, Eduardo, just send me a text message. I just want to know what's going on with audio. Hi, Diana. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Wine Talk with Tesh. Here's the situation, all right? Jordan, who is lovely, who always does all of my video capturing and all of my restreaming for me, is not able to help me today because his power is out. So I'm doing the controlling of all of the, I don't want to call it magical stuff because it's really basic today on Facebook and on YouTube, but you know, it is there. So, and I also was trying to get the chat working. So if anybody is in the messages, I'm curious if you guys can let me know. Mallory, what's up? Ashley, what's up? How are you? All right, Auntie Nora, what's up? I see you. All right, I'm gonna check something real quick. Getting your producer cred. No, for real, dude. I am 100% getting my producer cred. Now that I'm, oh, there we go. The chat stuff is working perfect, so I can actually see what's coming through. Yeah, normally Jordan does all of this stuff behind the scenes, and if you're watching, if you're on Instagram, first of all, Instagram is a great spot to watch on because it's easy to use. But I will say that if you can get on Facebook or on YouTube, that's where I can put up all the maps and everything. Instagram doesn't have that feature. We can only go live and just talk like this. But I can put up maps, images, all that fun stuff. Again, for those of you who are just now tuning in, Jordan is unable to help because his power is out, unfortunately, like many other folks. So I'm at home doing all of the producing end of the show on my own. So if there's an awkward pause, there you go. So yeah. if there's the awkward pause. If you guys have your wines, we're going to start with the Domaine Kirrenbourg. That's the Riesling. Go ahead and pour yourself a glass. I already have one. Boom. Make sure you guys are drinking. Always. Cheers. Cheers. Happy Wednesday. Dive right in. If you guys made the shrimp curry, you are in for a treat. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it was the fucking bomb. All right. It was really, really good together. Before we dive into talking about the wine, I'm going to throw up a little map here of France. So it's going to go right over my face. So you guys can see kind of where we're at. And I'm going to if you look at the top right portion in big bold letters, this is Alsace, right? That's where we're at with this first wine. And we've already talked about Alsace last time. Shares a border with Germany. The second wine that we're going to be drinking tonight, if you go slightly further south, right where it says Switzerland, if you go west from that, you'll see a small little highlighted. It's almost like a salmon-colored region titled Jura. That's where our second wine is coming from the Jura region of France. So it's east of Burgundy, shares a small border with Switzerland, south of Alsace. All right, so that's where we're at in the world for the wines for this month. So yeah, we'll take that off. And I will put up a bottle shot of the Kirrenbourg so you guys can see which wine we're on. Boom, there we go. Again, not Jordan quality because Jordan is the man. But yeah, here we go. And I'm glad that the curry is great. It's a really simple recipe. And I agree. I think it is absolutely amazing and it's perfect with the Riesling. If you don't have sparkling water after you're done with your curry and the Riesling as we're moving into the other wine, well, I would say I hope you have sparkling water because it's a really good palate kind of cleanser, refreshener to transition from one wine to the next. So this first wine that we're talking about is the Domaine Kirrenbourg. So let's start talking about it, shall we? We're in Alsace, France. The wine pairing this week with the food, it's really hard to do this particular wine with food. Let me clarify what I mean by that. It was hard to do a dish that worked for both wines. So I chose the one of the two that I tried. And I know tried and true Alsatian Riesling with shrimp curry is amazing. And then I tested that shrimp curry recipe, which we've had a bunch of times, but I tested it with the wine and it was just knock your socks off good. It was too good to ignore and too good to not put in front of you guys. So that's the one that I chose. The Jura pairing we'll talk about a little bit more towards the end when we get into that wine. So Domaine Kirrenbourg. This winery has roots that goes all the way back to 1930. They've been around for a very, very long time. In 1998, they became organic growers, and they very quickly transitioned into becoming a biodynamic producer. So they've been doing biodynamic farming. Yes, witchcraft wine. We're drinking witchcraft wine yet again. Something about witchcraft wine that just makes us tingle, huh? But they do all the geeky stuff, right, that you want to do with biodynamic farming. This particular wine, Kirrenbourg Riesling, comes from a Grand Cru vineyard. There's 51 Grand Cru vineyards in Alsace, France. And this comes from the one known as Brand, B-R-A-N-D, Brand. And that's not, it's not as significant as much as on the label you'll see it says Roche Granitique. And what that means is granite rock. And that's really just a reference to the strong presence of granite in the soil where this Riesling comes from. 30-year-old vines, very, very steep vineyards. This wine spends 9 months in barrels. And I think it's a great representation of Alsatian Riesling without being like super petrol-y. So yeah. Everybody's always worried that Riesling is going to be sweet, but some of my favorite expressions of Riesling are dry Rieslings. So if you like this, I just put one in the online shop by a producer called Ravines, and that one comes from Finger Lakes in New York, actually, where they make amazing Riesling. And that particular one, the Ravines Dry Riesling, is on the shop. I think it's like $20. That's a delicious bottle of wine. That is stylistically true, right? Like it's not sweet and it's not cloying. It's just what you want, and it's perfect with food. So when I taste this wine, Nick, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. On this wine, my left earpiece keeps falling off. Green apple, a small hint of that petrol that I've talked about in Riesling before. There's a very like subtle quality of like candied citrus to this wine that I think is just insanely delicious. It's not overdone. It's really, really beautiful and easy to drink. And then the last thing is this wine has a lot of salinity. So it's like juicy and it's got that salinous quality that makes it really good with like any seafood. But in terms of pairing, Riesling has range. Riesling has a lot more range, and I think I've talked about this with some of the Rieslings we've done before. But Riesling with anything spicy, whether it's dry or sweet, it's gonna if it's sweet, it's gonna get that sweet and spicy thing, right? It's gonna kind of bring into balance. But this is a dry wine, and it just the fruitiness of the wine kind of plays really well with the spiciness of any dish. That's why I think it works really well for those of you who are doing the curry. Pineapple is a great call, Diana. Absolutely, there's definitely pineapple in this wine. Pairs well with the shrimp curry, any kind of Indian food. Thai food is kind of like the same style, right? I'm not a big salad person, but if you're gonna have like an Asian chicken salad, this would be bomb with that. So, and Mallory, yes, you do like dry wine, you do, and you were wrong. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We talked ad nauseum about Alsace as a region last time, so I didn't want to overdo it this time. But I think that this is a beautiful wine. One of my reps put this in front of me. Actually, I asked her for it in terms of just I was looking for another Alsatian Riesling, and I was looking through her portfolio, and I was like, "Yo, I really want a sample of this," and she had not had it before. So yeah, dude, these headphones are killing me today. I don't know what is going on. My left ear is just tripping. I'm really glad you liked the pairing. You did a coconut shrimp with Thai sweet chili and some apricot reserves. Dude, mama always hook it up, man. I'm glad. Good, Auntie Nora. I'm really glad to hear that you're enjoying the Rieslings. I'm about dry Rieslings, man. The sweet stuff, it has its time and its place in our lives, but these dry Rieslings, I think, are really where it's at. Witchcraft wine, biodynamic wine. Biodynamic wine production is really, really unique way of producing wine. It's been around for quite some time. But basically it entails farming holistically. So what you do in one part of the vineyard affects another part of the vineyard. And you have to approach your farming techniques in order to bring your vineyard into balance. So it's kind of, we jokingly call it witchcraft wine, but it's really just paying attention to what you're doing. And there's the witchcraft part of it is real, bro. This thing, all right. I'm sorry, I keep fiddling with that. The witchcraft part of it comes into, I think sometimes it can be kind of like weird. Like you have to like bury like a cow skull with like horse tail and urine, and you have some weird stipulations that you have to do. There's another part of it where like you have to like harvest according to like the lunar cycle. Like, so yeah, there's a part of it that like really is quote unquote witchcrafty. But at the end of the day, what biodynamic farming forces you to do is it forces you to pay attention to what's happening in your vineyard. And when you're paying that much attention to what's happening in your vineyard, to the point where like you're like, oh, I planted something here, it's going to affect what's happening in the next row. That you're going to grow better grapes. Like you're nourishing your soil, and you're taking care of your vineyard. Those are all things. So, Diana, I'm really glad you like it, and Ashley, great. I'm glad to hear that. More people should drink Riesling. Riesling is fantastic, and a lot of people don't realize that it's not always sweet, right? Um, Although I will say this, guys, we gotta work on. I'm gonna try and uh, I'm gonna try. Yeah, man, burning skulls though, bro. Yeah, for real. I'm gonna try and get my hands on some vintage stuff because vintage Rieslings are amazing if they can just be laid down properly by the producer, or if you buy some wines like this and you're gonna lay it down, you can age this for 10, 15 years and come back to it and it'll knock your socks off. Definitely a different profile, right? But they do age incredibly well. Um, it's definitely like aged Riesling is one of those like geeky. It's like a Somm thing. Like every Somm wants to drink everything aged. I don't want it now. Give it to me in 20 years. But realistically, finding wines that have been aged for 20 years is it's not realistic for most people, right? So you have to approach wine with that notion that that this is what I have accessible to me and this is what I can drink. And some wines do need to be aged, like big bold Napa Cabs. You know what I mean? Like they just uh, we got Nick on. Nick loves Schrader. Schrader is an example of a wine that only benefits from age, and it needs it to a certain extent. Um, so yeah. All right. So I hope you guys like that. I love it. I think it's really good. Cheers. Move on to the next wine. Yeah, Ralphie definitely gets all the credit for the term witchcraft wine. That was all Ralph. Ralph, we were talking about, we were talking. It was like one of our first times covering biodynamic farming, and Ralph was like, "Witchcraft! It's just witchcraft." Uh, okay, so for those of you who had the curry, you may still be eating. I would recommend who had the curry. You may still be eating. I would recommend. Uh, I would recommend you actually try drinking some of this Domaine Rolet Poulsard with your curry. And here's why. I want you to understand what a bad pairing is. This is not the pairing for the coconut curry shrimp. It's not going to work. The flavors clash. The red falls flat, and the flavors is just not bold enough to stand up to the flavors of the curry. Um, so this wine is a little bit more delicate. So again, we're south of Alsace, east of Burgundy, sharing a border with Switzerland. Domaine Rolet has been around since 1942. It is a family-owned and run project. Poulsard is really cool as a grape. One, most of us probably haven't had Poulsard before, but it's cool in the region of Jura, which is named after the Jurassic era. We should. Ralphie's probably like, this is dinosaur wine. um, so it's cool. So in the Jura region, there's wide variety of grapes are grown, but three main red grapes. Okay, it's Trousseau, Pinot Noir, and Poulsard, and very often they are blended and then sold. Right? It's like a red blend that they sell. So one, to find a producer who bottles it as 100% of that varietal, it can be kind of rare, let alone they bottle it and then have it exported to the US for us to enjoy. As a very angry young Frenchman once told me, "You only drink Jura wines in the Jura." He got so mad at me. It was a cooperage who came in. Oh yeah, see the Rolet with chicken parmesan, perfect. I had the Rolet tonight with I made chicken pot pie, and it was perfect with that too. So the Rolet, which I'll get to in terms of pairing, it can kind of go with everything. Yeah. So they grow three main red grapes: Trousseau, Pinot Noir, Poulsard, often blended. So these can be kind of hard to find, and they can be kind of hit or miss. My experience with them has been good because I feel like if a producer is going to go through the work of not only making 100% varietal, was that really his accent? Yes, it was a really, really poor attempt at a French accent. I suck. uh, he really did talk like that. He was like, you only drink Jura wines from the Jura, and I was like, okay, again, that was really bad French accent. He was so angry about it, and I was like, dude, like, I had a lot of people in his party who loved the wine, so it was, sometimes you just gotta roll with those punches. Um, yes, the color of this wine is super light. It's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get it. Boom. Sorry, I got to go backwards, and then for Instagram, you can't really get a good sense from the video feed because lighting is all weird all the time. Um, but if you guys have the glass in front of you, yes, this is an incredibly light wine in color. The skins themselves are actually pale. So you get a little bit of color from the flesh and a little bit from the skin. So this is all, yeah, that's all just the grape itself. Um, Going back to this winery, they're currently practicing organic farming, no pesticides, no herbicides. I don't know if this is true. I read from a couple different sources that they're looking at becoming a biodynamic producer, but I don't know if that's true. Oh wait, hold on. I don't have Jordan in the background working his magic, so I got a bottle shot. Boom. We gotta throw this bottle shot up. Boom, there you go, Domaine Rolet. Um, so yeah, I don't know if that's true that they're in the process of becoming a biodynamic farmer, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do, just because it seems to be the way that a lot of good producers are moving. Um, if you guys haven't already had a sip, you need to drink some. It's the bomb. I like it anyhow. And also, this is also kind of like the whole point of Tesh Talks, right? Is to put a wine like this that you probably would never buy at a grocery store or wherever the heck you buy wine from. Y'all buy wine from me, so you guys are all cool. Um, but this is the kind of wine that I want to put in front of you guys because I think there's a lot of uniqueness in this wine, and you wouldn't otherwise try wine from the Jura unless somebody told you to try wine from the Jura. I was gonna try and do the French accent again. And then I told myself to shut up. Mm. Super easy drinking, really, really mellow, but has this bright pop of cherry. This makes you want coconut or marzipan. Is that normal? Yep, sure is, Mallory. No, I don't know. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't know that marzipan. Sure, marzipan maybe. Coconut. But no, I feel. I mean, hey, if go get some coconut and marzipan and see how it pairs. I'm just curious what happens. Um, Bright pop of cherry. There's a hint of hibiscus that I'm picking up. Cranberry, red currant. There is a touch of earthiness on the finish, like a little bit of like a rustic kind of like earthy charm. I call it charm. Charm is like a good word to say when you like there's just a hint of, right? But instead of saying hint of, because when you're a Somm, you say hint of a lot. You say it's got this rustic charm. Um, Super easy to drink, super food friendly. What else did I not tell you about this wine? Uh, oh, some of the other things that's cool about it. You'll notice on the bottle it says Vieux Vin. That means old vines. So you see old vines here in that accent. I gotta tell you, Mallory has a broken taster, and James said that accent must be from the French part of Compton. It's pronounced Compton. French accent always works when citing the chef from Little Mermaid. I have missed one. Oh yeah. No, it still sounded funny to me. Um, Anyhow, what else is there? Oh, the old vines. So these vines for this particular wine, 50-year-old vines. So the vines for the Riesling up in Alsace are 30-year-old vines. These are 50-year-old vines, hence Vieux Vin on the label. Aged in large oak barrels, so you get a little bit of that neutral oak, which it doesn't. There's no like vanilla and spice is not what you would use to describe this wine. It's really, really, um, there's presence of oak, there's texture, but it's not overbearing in that fashion. I like to call this Thanksgiving wine. I know Thanksgiving is a long ways away, but I always feel like there's like a good place for a red that you can just have at dinner and not overthink. And it can kind of work with a wide variety of things. Poultry, roasted pork, um, kind of like Gamay. I think that this wine would work really, really well with mac and cheese. Um, you notice that when I taste, I swish it in my mouth like mouthwash. Um, yes, I do that because I do that because I drink coffee. So most Psalms forego, especially serious Psalms, like serious, like studying for level 3, level 4 exams. They don't drink coffee. They forego that aspect of their life. Most Psalms don't have children, and I do. So I'm not going to give up my coffee. Um, and I just really want the flavor to get concentrated in my mouth. So yeah, I do swish this around quite a bit. And here's why. I swish it around like mouthwash because I really want to coat my entire tongue, my entire mouth with the flavors. And then you'll see me kind of do this thing. And I try not to do it obnoxiously, right? But I'll do this. It's a silly thing, but like it just helps really kind of solidify the flavors that are going on in your mouth. And yeah, tasting secrets. I don't know if there are tasting secrets. You drink a lot of wine and then you start learning what wine is supposed to taste like. Um, that's why I suggested for those of you who are at home who did the coconut curry shrimp, if you try it with the Poulsard, you'll see it doesn't work. But that's an important part of um, being a som is you want to try stuff that doesn't work too, because it's important to know what doesn't work. Hard to know what works when you don't know the flip side. You got to know both sides. When you have like a bad bottle of wine, um, try it. I made my staff once try a corked bottle of wine. We passed it around and everybody had to take a sip, and it was very, very poor. But it is also important for all my staff to know what bad wine tastes like and smells like, for that matter. So yeah. So yeah, that's good. And yes, you're very welcome, Diana. I'm really glad that you love the shrimp recipe. Super easy to make. Um, when am I, David? When am I getting my level 3? I'm not getting my level 3. I am really dedicated to putting. I will say this: I'm really dedicated to making the business work because I want it to be successful enough for me to not have to go back to work for someone else. I'm very, very much enjoying just being here for you guys and doing doing these wine talks with Tesh, doing private virtual tastings too. They're all so much more fun, um, and I hope that someday we can do this in a dining room together again, because I think that that would be really dope, and there'll probably be maybe a step somewhere for me down the road. But for right now, I'm really happy with where I'm at. Uh, I just don't want to commit that much time and energy. You literally have to dedicate your life to to studying, and I like studying. I like going through my wine quiz app like a nerd. I like reading my wine books, but I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to get my level 3. It's not gonna do anything for me, I think, in the long run. Um, but I'm not trying to take away from it. I think that it's admirable anybody who can set aside enough time to dive in uh, and uh, and uh, and commit themselves to learning that much information. Because I forget. I have to look up stuff all the time. All the time, I have to look up stuff. What does it mean when someone says the wine is corked? It means that the cork has failed. Um, the cork has allowed air or oxygen to get into the wine, and as a result, the wine becomes tainted. And a good way to tell that, okay, actually, here, let's do this because this is fun. First of all, I hope you guys love this So this Domaine Rolet I think is amazing. If you guys want me to get more, I can order more and put it in stock. I didn't for this round, um, just because it is a geeky wine, and it's not something that like somebody's gonna come knocking on my door for. But you guys, if you knock on my door for it and like I get enough of you to say, hey, we'd really like to order some more of that particular one, you just let me know and I'll make it happen. Okay. Um, the cork has failed to do its job. So the job of the cork is to keep oxygen out, wine in, right? And um, it has failed to do so. And as a result, the wine becomes tainted. How do you know when a wine is corked? Um, a lot of people like to pull out the cork and smell the cork, but it's going to smell like a cork. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you actually want to smell, you can smell it right out of the bottle. Actually, okay, I'll order some more of the Domaine Rolet, okay? Anybody else who wants me to order more of the Domaine Rolet, chime in now. So that way I can make sure I have some for you. When you take out the cork, set the cork aside, right? You can smell it right out of the bottle. And what you'll smell is kind of like a rotten egg and really more of like a wet cardboard smell. And when you get that wet cardboard smell, you'll know that the wine is bad. And what ends up happening though, especially is when you go to actually sip the wine, you'll notice that the fruity characteristics of the wine are really subdued. Sometimes some people say that like you can like leave the wine like in your glass and like some of that corkiness will blow off. I haven't really found that to be true. There's another weird one that I recently learned of. I have never tried this, but there's another weird one that somebody told me about. They were like, oh, if you scrunch up some saran wrap and put it into a decanter, like scrunch up a ball, right, of saran wrap, put it into a decanter and then pour your wine into that and just let it sit for a minute, it'll be corked, like it won't be corked anymore. And I was like, I don't know if I believe that much in witchcraft. I've never tried it though, so I don't know. I mean, like the person who told me swore up and down by it. So I'm curious how that works. So yeah. You got it, David. All right, cool. So I'll order another case of the Domaine Rolet. It looks like we have at least a few people who are interested in getting some. So what else? I think that's all I have for you guys. You guys have any more questions about either of the wines? We talked a lot about Alsace last time, so I didn't dive too much into it this time. But Jura, don't sleep on that. Drink some of that. That's that good that people don't talk about. I'll keep my eye out on the chat so you guys can still holler at questions. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about next month. So in 2 weeks, we'll be doing this again on February 10th. Yeah, is that like the blender trick? Yeah, it sounds so stupid to me too. I've never tried it. The person who told me is a wine person. I've yeah, it sounded really weird to me. The grape in Domaine Rolet is Poulsard, Poulsard. You can also find that it comes from a different. It goes by different names, and one of the most common other names is Poulsard, Pousard. But Poulsard is the name of the grape. Udinsky, James, so good to have you, man. Riesling was the champ today. Dope. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, so 2 weeks, February 10th, we're going to be doing this again. I already have Tesh Talk boxes for February. So I dialed that in about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So for those of you who participate in the talks, who want to get another box, if you have not asked me to sign you up for autopay, you just got to go renew. You click on join or renew on the Tesh Talk item in the online shop, and that should be good. You want some more Riesling too? Damn, baby. All right, shoot. I see you, girl. So yeah, We are featuring Pinot Noir in February for the entire month because it's Valentine's Day, and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but a brother does drink a lot. And really, it doesn't really get sexier than Pinot Noir, I think. Like if Pinot Noir, if you could describe Pinot Noir, it'd be like long legs, red dress type of situation. Um, I'm just gonna stop there. Anyhow, um, Pinot Noir is sexy. It is, and you guys are gonna really enjoy the wines for that month. I think that they're absolutely astounding. So yeah, we are not doing a rosé. It's all Pinot. Bruh, I just said that. No, it's all Pinot all month long. 4 bottles of Pinot Noir. So for the 10th, we're going to be tasting a Burgundian Pinot Noir from Burgundy, France, and then we'll also be tasting a Pinot Noir from Santa Lucia Highlands by a producer called Jura. And then Diana, you're good. You're good. Like you'll get an email. For those of you who asked me to sign you up for autopay, you'll get an invoice email on the 1st, and all you have to do is pop in your card and be sure to select the option for auto charging your card, and that's all you got to do. But for those of you who are not on autopay, go get your box. I know some of you already did it. Mallory, thanks for picking one up for February. You should be getting your wines within the next day or two. They're already out for shipment. So yeah. Will I wear red? Sure. Yeah, I'll wear that little thing you like. And lipstick. I don't know, man. Are you gonna buy a whole case of wine? I don't know, man. We can figure stuff out. All right. Oh man. Yeah, don't delete my membership. You're good, and it'll remind you. And so every month you'll get an email that says, hey, once after this first one, you'll have to put in your card and select autopay, in moving forward, and then after that, it'll just automatically charge you, but you'll get an email receipt every single time. So yeah, so you're good there. You already drank the Miura. The Miura is fire, dude. I'm telling you. I'm really glad you liked it. Everybody else is going to get to experience it next month. It is really, really delicious Pinot Noir. So yeah, so Pinot Noir, February. All right, my friends and fam. It has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed these wines. I was just gonna pick up a bottle and show you the QR code on the back, but these are mine, so I don't put QR codes on them. But you guys, if you ever are drinking something or you're trying to make dinner plans and you're not sure what to pair, you guys can always scan the QR codes on the back. It'll kick you to the item page on my website where you can reorder more. And the bottom of every tasting note on the page has a pairing recommendation. So also, if you want to look like a straight up G when people come over, before you can read up on the wine real quick and be like, oh yeah, da 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 da. This winery's been around since blah blah blah. So yeah, cool. All right, my friends, I am gonna get going, and thank you for participating. As always, I appreciate the love and support. Until 2 weeks from now. Until then, ciao. I just said ciao. Who the hell says ciao? All right. Later, guys.